Hello, hello, hello! It's time for harvest time. We are going to do some succulent harvesting with the SP3000 Mars Hydro. Okay, so I've got it backwards, but it doesn't matter. You get the drift. So it's been almost 2 months since I started my babies here. They're doing marvelously. Well, in comparison to outside, so it's springtime and it's supposed to warm up, but then still we're getting temperatures below 20s and it's freezing cold outside right now. These babies now have grown 2 months growth. Basically, the ones outside are still asleep, but these ones I've already harvested a couple to give away to friends. So if you can see, and I have replaced them with new ones as well. So these are only a few days old, but look, the roots are already popping out. But I am so impressed with the growth. Okay, let's start with a string of angel's tears. So this one here, look how much it's grown. You haven't seen this when I put this on because I put this on later on. I actually took a cutting at the same time and 2 pots. One is outside and this is inside. So the other one is still half the size compared to the string of angel's tears. And the rest of the gang, okay, I'm all full up, packed up. I'm trying to maximize everything. Okay, leaf as well, propagation. This is Echeveria Agavoides Miranda. And look at the growth. I haven't even touched them. I just left them in the plate here. And look at the roots just sort of trying to crawl out and saying, put me in the soil. And all these new plants I've got here are all growing wonderfully and coloring up. And this Calicia rosato as well. Had I put that in my area, in my family room where I'm growing them, that would have already probably died. Those that shelf there, I already added it on because I'm trying to maximize the light and everything. And also, okay, the growth rate. Okay, so Echeveria riga, this one, the one outside is still asleep. I've got little babies, which is only tiny still, like little bits like that. Outside, they're growing compared to this one. Look how big that is now. Like, look at the size. Okay, my hand, there you go, comparison. That's phenomenal growth. And then also this one here, this is a Echeveria ebony that I chopped the head off. The mother is still alive, but then look how many babies it's got. Like 1, 2, 3, I think 4 or 5 plants. That's I'm gonna get out of that. Hang on, I can't reach. I'm trying to reach. Okay, so sorry guys. Now the Crassula Pyramidal, see that one there? So that one is sort of in the shade at the back there, and this one is out here, sort of below, right below the firing line of my grow light. Look at that. And the ones outside, they're just spitting off babies right now, and it's still tiny. So that smallest one there, that smallest piece in there, they're actually smaller than that, the ones outside there. So I am really impressed. And look at this Echeveria West Rainbow. My West Rainbow. I've got 3 beautiful West Rainbow. Look at that. So 1, 2, 3. And also the leaf. Look at the leaf. Now this is the leaf propagation of my West Rainbow, and isn't that beautiful variegation? Look at that. So these plants are actually quite expensive. So to me, it's worth having the grow light, and I'm not saying this because they gave me a free grow light. It's just actually just really, this is my honest opinion, guys. So I'm not paid to I'm not a sales person for Mars Hydro, okay? So this is just an honest review. My deal was just to do an unboxing video, and that's it. I've done my job, and this is just a bonus. It's just that I'm so excited with the result of the grow light that if you do decide to grow your succulent indoors, for those of you who has a lot of succulents grown indoors, I would highly recommend getting a grow light. The feedback of a lot of my friends who wants to save up, and they're saving up for Christmas, they're gonna get some SP3000, but they said it's a little bit pricey to sort of buy offhand right now, so they're gonna save up. But there is a cheaper model. I haven't tried the cheaper model, so I wouldn't know, but if you're in a budget, then I would suggest trying the cheaper, there's I think SP2000 or something like that, Mars Hydro. So that is Pappas Rose under the grow light. And this is Pappas Rose. Where are you now? I lost my Pappas Rose. There you go. That's Pappas Rose just on the side. So it doesn't get as much light or direct light, but look at the size comparison. So even if you grow it on the side of it, so that one is more intense color. The one there just can't sort of, yeah, there you go. Hang on here, come here. There you go. So that one in the bottom is right under, so it's beautiful color. But this one, even if you grow it on the side, you get bigger plants faster compared to being grown directly under it. And this is only because this Echeveria Pappas Rose is a hybrid. This is a hybrid, so that's why it doesn't need that much sunlight. So if you want it to grow fast, sort of put it in semi-shade, and if you want it to grow slow and beautiful, then you put it in direct sun, or if you grow it outside, but then we're talking about growing it inside. So my Pappas Rose outside is still quite pale right now, even though it's exposed to the sun. This is now the sun outside, outdoors. And my Pappas Rose is still on the pale side compared to this gorgeous one over here. It's like small but perfectly formed, that one. Now let's talk about this crazy one here. This crazy one, can you believe that? This is my Echeveria variegata mini bell. Look at the roots that's coming out of it. So it's really time to propagate that or harvest it, really. My Echeveria Mabina variegata. This is a very expensive plant, and I think I saw it online. People are selling it for like $150 for a teeny weeny cutting. I don't know, it's got roots, but it's sort of dry when they have to send it to you because of the soil quarantine issue. And of course, you're getting a tiny little plant. And from this one plant now, if I do decide I want to sell this, I would harvest them, but I'll still leave this one for another month to grow a bit bigger. So that one there, I could probably, two of them I could pluck out, but I would advise don't do that. Just give them time to grow and get a little bit bigger and stronger, and then that way you'll have a much stronger plant. But this one alone, if I were to buy, or say I paid $700 for my SP3000, this plant alone would have paid for that. So even if I sell it for $50, really cheap, each plant, like there's like a dozen of them there. So it's almost paid for itself. And then now also this mini bell, that mini bell is also an expensive succulent. Like to me, if I pay more than $10 for a succulent, that's already expensive for me. Because as do most people, you know, we're not millionaires and that sort of thing. So we are on a budget, basically. I have to forgo a lot of things for me to sustain my succulent addiction. But anyway, so even this mini bell, each plant there now, if I pull that apart, I mean like harvest it, so take one here, and one there, one there, one there, one there, and a few more, and I've got some leaves as well that's growing. So even this whole plant there, even if I get 4 plants out of that, so or 5, say for example, they're selling, I paid $20 for this plant, and it was only small when I got it. So even if I sell it for say $15 a plant, that's more than paid for my Mars Hydro. And now also this one, this Graptoveria Fred Ives, a variegated one. So Fred Ives is, look at the variegation on that one. Isn't that beautiful? I only have one because I only got a couple of leaves, and the other one it's in the corner there, so it's very teeny weeny still. It's sort of more a yellow variegation. Any yellow variegation will eventually sort of die because they can't absorb the chlorophyll. Pink's good, but yellow's no good. But in saying that, look at all the babies I've got here now. So I've got my Hobby, which is half the size when I brought it in. Only about, I think 4 weeks ago I brought this one in, less than that, 3 weeks. So it's been growing here 3 weeks, and it was only like that small here, and then now it's sort of overflowing. Look at that, like crawling out of the, oh my goodness, there's a baby underneath as well. I just noticed the baby. So this is a cutting that I've done at the end of actually autumn. End of autumn, I'm chopping things off, letting them dry out, hoping to get them ready for springtime. And I don't even have to wait that long. It's actually spring now, but then I already have babies. So normally, if I haven't got the grow light, I would just be putting this in the soil. It wouldn't have babies. And it just so happened that since I've got it in the grow light, that's why it puts out a baby. And also these little moonstone babies, they call them moonstone now, anything that's sort of roundish and fat and chubby. This is Machuse, Graptopetalum Machuse, or baby fingers. Look how many plants I've got there. How exciting is that? And also my black rose. That black rose has died on me. And it took me over a year, about a year and a half, to get it going with a little bump. And I thought I would have lost it. I only had one plant, and it just died, decided to shed its leaves for no reason at all after having it for a couple of months. So they don't like the transition from where they're from to where they're in now. So I lost all the leaves and nearly died, and then I was able to save about 5 or 6 leaves, and luckily this one's now, because of the grow light that I've grown it in the grow light, now I'll have a few more plants. So I got 1, 2, 3, and I got a couple more somewhere that's sort of growing as well, a bit smaller than that, but still I'm so happy because that's Echeveria black rose, Agavoides black rose. So again, it's one of those rare succulents that's really hard to come by nowadays as well. And this one is Florina. Look at that. Oh, grown from a leaf. Like I'm talking 100 miles an hour here because I'm trying to cover everything here. And look, Graptoveria lovely rose. So look at the lovely rose. Look at the, hang on, I have to take this out. So this is Graptoveria lovely rose. Okay, so the roots, can you see the roots all sticking out there? It just can't wait to grow. So it's like, you know, like the grow light just sort of tickles their legs to put out some roots, so I can have by next year I'll have a few more lovely rose. I'm going towards this one here. So look how big that one is. And also same story, the roots is just, look at that, it's just like, oh, crawling out of it. So I need to put it in a bigger pot, maybe in my, but I wouldn't put it until probably another 4 weeks. I would put it in an intermediate soil mix, which is my fast growing soil mix, and leave it outside then. But for now, I'm just gonna keep growing some more leaves. Now this one, my Contempo, look at the color. Look at the color. Can you believe the color? It's amazing. Like, oh my goodness, that is so pretty. Fukushi Nishiki almost died on me. And now look at you. Look at you, healthy. Now I have 1, 2, 3, about 4 plants. Or that one is still struggling, so almost 5. So 4.5. And Belladonna. Belladonna, beautiful Donna. You actually fit your name. You look how beautiful you look. And also my variegated markers. These variegated markers I've got, I think 1, 2 of them are maybe this other one's variegating too. But I find that I think with the variegated, some variegated, you can't put it in the grow light or else they're just gonna look like that. But this one have a variegated one inside there. Can you see the white? Okay, so what else can I show you guys? This is just phenomenal. Okay, now also the leaf. Okay, the leaf grown. Look how big they are. They're really well and truly needed to be harvested. Look at that. So I really need to take them out. Although I could still leave it out in this soil here, but there's still hasn't overgrown its pot, so it can grow a little bit bigger. But for now, I think I should leave it here because it's still cold outside. So I don't want to be taking them out when it's going to give them a shock. And then this one, oh my goodness, this beautiful, look at that Laui, Echeveria Laui. Oh my Lord, hang on. My budgie has already had a peck on it. Hang on. Okay, I'm just going to, isn't that beautiful? Look how beautiful that is. Oh, it was pristine. And then look what he did. He took a chomp on the side. Okay, see? Pedro took a bite in that corner there, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But look at the two beautiful, beautiful Laui. Because my Laui, I've been watering them on the top, and then the white farina is coming off. So I don't really have a pristine, perfect example of a Laui. So this one I am not going to water or top water it. I am going to just bottom water it or pot water it. Okay, I'll just put you back. This is now the true comparison. This is my West Rainbow, the mother plant. This is my mother plant that I chopped the head off, and it was a much, much, much bigger plant, and it looks pale, I know. This is grown outside. So after I chopped the head off, I left it outside, and so now compared to, look at the difference of the mummy plant and the baby plant. So look how big that is and healthy. And this one looks sickly, and it started going all pink and black in the center and losing its variegation as well. Look at that. So I don't know, guys. It's up to you. You decide. Should you go and get a grow light? More specifically, Mars Hydro SP3000? I leave it with you to decide. So it's up to you. Yep. You're gonna get an SP3000 for Christmas. No. Okay, that's all. Well, if I haven't got one, actually, I should really get another one. I'll set up another room for this one. Maybe get a tent as well. A grow tent. Yeah, maybe get a grow tent. So now, that's it. I need to, I'll still leave this once another week here. And then, or two, when it warms up. So once we get to about 25 degrees Celsius outside, then I'll start putting them out. But a lot of them, see like this Pudgy now, look at my baby Pudgy, because I kept over-watering it in here. I kept forgetting not to water it. And I water it every day, so one of them already rotted. So they don't like too much water, so they're really fussy with the soil as well that they're in. So they need to be transplanted into my advanced soil mix, and therefore that's why they are rotting, because the soil is too rich. It's holding too much moisture for their liking. So that's why I need to harvest them and replant them and put them in the good soil. See, even these jesters here now, look how beautiful they're looking, but they desperately need to get put onto a better soil, a fast growing soil.